worried that you might be the cool kid? You wear the latest fashions on top of all the trends. Or have you ever worried you were too much in the mainstream? Always so generic, more normal than your friends. Well, we've devised a test to put to rest your fears. There's no need to panic if you lend us your ears. Tonight you can sleep easy after all that you've heard. Cause if you like the show, then you're probably a nerd. Oh, Canon, it's Canon, it's all. Tyler, Phil, and Boris. Oh, Canon, it's Canon, it's all in Canon.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the It's Canon podcast. That's podcast where we talk about all things comics, video games, pop culture, Star Wars, Legos, anything and everything. And the best part of it all is that it's all in canon. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Phil.
Happy Cyber Monday to the world, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Mr. Boris. American Thanksgiving. And all of our listeners.
Yes, and all of our American listeners. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
How's it going, Phil?
You know, trying to stay away from Amazon right now because everything is just designed to steal my money. I did
right.
I got American Thanksgiving so wrong this year. I thought it was last week was Black Friday because my Amazon app started selling me Black Friday deals, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Lego's on sale. So I went through and I purchased the C3PO buildable figure, and it pairs up perfectly with the R2D2 buildable figure that I picked up earlier in the year. And that was like almost 40% off. So that was a steal as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's just I've got a whole bunch of pre-purchased stuff that's supposed to be coming tomorrow, like Steelbook Ahsoka, Steelbook Mando Series 3, and Alien Romulus 4K. So on the disc. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm trying to buy up the discs, a few of them, because they're getting hard to find.
As you should, right?
Yeah, especially
it's actually pretty crazy. Yeah, it's for sure. It's crazy how hard it is to find some of these things at this point. Like it's like anyone who like yourself, like Alex, like other people that I know who are like very much into their physical collection. Man, it's just becoming half near impossible at this point.
Yeah, it really is, and some of the stuff that's out of production is just skyrocketing in price. So it really is a weird world right now, because like I dread to think some of my DVDs what they're actually worth, because even the used ones are going for like $70-$80. So I'm like,
I know,
it's crazy.
It's insane, right? Like, oh, it's crazy, but it's also crazy how long Blu-ray 4K has lasted as the medium to use for home theaters.
Well, it's still in a large way is just the Blu-rays. Not a lot of people
that's what I mean.
4K.
But that's what I mean. Like the fact that Blu-rays at this point have lasted as the main form for over 10 years.
Yeah, and in the video player market, all right, on your Xboxes and your PlayStation 5s, we have the ability to play 4K discs. It comes up as a Blu-ray player, but it's actually a completely different codec. Same type of disc. It looks the same, but they're usually in black boxes. And I have a dedicated DVD 4K Blu-ray for, noise reduction if I'm really geeking out and being an audio and video file. It's a rabbit hole. It's a curse as much as anything. But here we are tonight. Disney moved it up. The premiere 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew tonight at 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific time. So this is I don't know what to expect with the show. We've talked about it. I really like the trailer stuff that I've seen. I know that it's not for me, but I know that there's going to be a nostalgic bit that appeals to me as well. And I'm curious to see where they go with this project. Like what tone it has, because certainly with the last one, it kind of wasn't very well executed. But it was an all right show. I liked some of the ideas that they had in it, but it just didn't, a lot of fan backlash, which wasn't right. But, you don't have to like it all. That's for sure. You just shouldn't tell people what they can or can't like. If you know what I mean.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times. But yeah, no, I'm really curious to see how Skeleton Crew is accepted, right? And are they able to capture that new fan base that it seems like they're going for? Like, it really seems like they're really trying to get a new fan base, get new fans into this into the Star Wars world, right? So, like, will it work? We'll see. Are people going to be persuaded not to watch because of fan, and I'm using fan in air quotes, backlash?
This is the thing. I've seen so much resistance from the usual talking heads in the Star Wars, arena. And they just seem, unfortunately, to be so hell-bent on, you have to make Star Wars the way that I know it, and you can't make it for different audiences. It's, that gatekeeping stuff we talk about. But I really don't want Lucasfilm or Disney to do that. It's fine if you want to make something that tugs on the nostalgia or whatever, right? That has the old feel. But it should be pushing into new directions and new audiences. And Star Wars was always for kids, right? Like, it was always a kids aimed with action and real stakes. And that's what Skeleton Crew is trying to be. It's like a Goonies with where the stakes are real. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Like Jude Law. And the show I was talking about before was The Acolyte. I apologize for
exactly
on that.
Yep.
But yeah,
we'll see.
So next week we'll be either mired in hatred and animosity, or we'll be watching something healthy and kind of going, hey, let's give this a shot. Like, I think it is aimed for the kids, but
it is 100%. It
adults my age that remember the Goonies and all that kind of stuff that are just going to be like, it's like watching the 4:30 movie. It'll bring you a little bit of nostalgia and maybe a little bit of humor. And let's just get this one thing straight. The little blue thing isn't a same race as Max Rebo. It's actually a different alien race, because apparently, despite the action figure having legs and arms, apparently the things that Max Rebo plays the keyboard are his feet with that race. His feet. It just blows my mind how much people care about this stuff.
Yeah. I know it's some of the details is like just kill me. Like I understand the details are important. I really do. But the details that some of the more toxic fandom take things, it's just like, guys, just have fun with it. Like, again, I'm not saying like don't. Yeah. I'm not giving Disney the open door to just, break canon and stuff. But like, yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
Oh, it was the whole argument in The Acolyte that Al-Kundi, or whatever the guy's name was, the Jedi with the big head, he couldn't have known that there was a Sith. He never knew in The Acolyte. But so many of those fans said, this is breaking canon, you can't do it. I'm like, actually, they played it so perfectly into canon that it made his statements in The Phantom Menace even more poignant. But, that's the issue, is that they don't give it time to breathe. They don't give it air, and they don't think about it, in that way of getting to the movie and then realizing that the show actually reinforced a lot of what happened in the movie.
That's
And then,
exactly it, right?
then you have
But
Ewok.
well, whatever.
We didn't light the forest moon on fire with Ewok Adventure, remember? It was, hey, look, I'm a
Yeah,
kid.
exactly.
I get more Star Wars on TV.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see exactly where that goes. The Acolyte premiering basically by the time that we're done recording this episode is done and dusted. And just remember that there's so many ways that you can listen to us and watch us, including YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and X. And you can also listen to us on any podcasting platform. And again, thank you to everyone who does listen to us. Got to throw that out there before we continue. Yeah, man. So over the past few weeks, I've been seeing more and more. There's Microsoft is spending a lot of money on social media on their "This is an Xbox" ad, and I wanted to bring this up just for a couple reasons. And number one, it solidifies what you and I have been talking about for the past 5 years at least, and that is the console war is over. By that I mean, I think Microsoft has officially, internally and now externally to the consumer, really showing us what they think and what the future of the Xbox is, and that is a live gaming service as opposed to hardware.
Yeah, they created Stadia.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, we knew
sorry.
this was gonna happen. Like, we've been saying this as
Yeah.
soon as the cloud stuff started.
Yeah. I personally, as an Xbox fan, I have all the consoles. So I don't have anything parked in any one arena or anything. I'm completely open to people just enjoying video games. But having the console is kind of fun. And this ad, this whole campaign kind of defeats what Microsoft has been doing up until now. And I know it's a change, but it's a baffling one because it's just been such a about face, like so quickly turned. I just have difficulty fathoming it because they have legions of Xbox fans that argue online about everything and want their stuff to be awesome. And then Xbox, like Microsoft, just goes out and does that whole thing, which we knew it was going to happen. But there's also limits to it. And that's the part that's making me laugh, right?
How so? What do you mean?
Well, how many
What do you mean by
Xbox
that?
X's
Limits.
do they have on their farm? Okay, so like in the early days, because we've been beta testing this for ages as an Xbox Game Pass monthly subscriber. So I've had the option whenever I see a video game to play it online. And you know what? For the first bit, I don't even try it anymore. It is so terrible because they promised that they've arranged new farms of Xbox X's. So the highest quality graphics you're going to get, even though it can only play 1080p. But it's still, you're getting an Xbox Series X in a server farm. And I don't know how many instances they have. Like, look at how many times they get killed with a launch like Diablo 4. Things like that. You don't think this weekend's going to be a bloody mess with Indiana Jones if that thing needs an online connection? Like, it's just with the way that the games as a service model is running, even on games that aren't a service, but still holding true to those principles of always having to validate things online. I don't know that they have the backbone to really expand to the degree that they want to. But it'll come with money and time, I guess. Right?
Well, that's exactly it, right? That's what I was gonna say. That it's gonna come with time, but like, to me, the timing is interesting because, you know, for them launching this campaign is, like I said, it's essentially Microsoft saying, "Look, Xbox is a service now. Is Xbox ready for that service?" Same, like, this is going back to the whole Netflix conversation we had last time.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough, right? Like, and apparently the people who look at the metrics that show how many people are subscribing to Xbox Game Pass, because this is all contingent on Xbox Game Pass actually bringing people in. Like, their whole discussion about this is so dependent on Game Pass, and they're not making the money that they thought they would be. But now, because of Call of Duty 6 billion or whatever number it is now, because of Call of Duty, they are seeing the numbers turn. The Game Pass numbers are starting to increase. So good on them for brandishing, the big hit, but as well, they're being very aggressive behind closed doors, according to the rumor mill, about getting some of their first party titles like Forza Horizon 5, etc. I'm going to insert Halo here, probably onto the PlayStation platform to get the money out of the PlayStation players, which makes sense. And they are driving, because now Microsoft wants their investment back on the billions of dollars that they've spent acquiring all these companies. It's insane. And by the way,
same can be said for Sony, right? Like, both Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, by the way, 343 Industries rebranded itself in our absence to Halo Studios, and they are abandoning their first party engine and migrating the Halo games over to Unreal 5, because apparently that was part of the problem with 343, and they ditched the 343 name because they felt it was the name that basically turned Halo to crap. 343 Studios.
Yeah, it hurt them, right? It's a branding thing, right? It's a fan thing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it. The interesting part about that for me more is the fact that they're using an open platform like Unreal, and for me that just shows that, it's okay, cool, it's there, but it also means that you're opening yourselves up as a studio to cuts, because you don't need XYZ developers for first party platforms.
I think they had a major brain drain. And the problem is that when you have a proprietary engine, you have to train them when they get onboarded. And I don't think that training curve was easy, right? So that means that they're always in the pocket on development. So by going to this, it just means that they can onboard or even source out content creation and just say, okay, X company, you're going to make this new online platform thing for Halo for multiplayer. You're going to expand that and just do it using this. And then they can do it.
That's exactly what I mean, right?
Yeah. At the same rate, it means that they can dump and chase, right? It's like, okay, we grew too fast. See ya.
They can dump and chase. And they can also just bring in a developer who knows Unreal and throw them right into the fire, as opposed to that learning curve. Like, it's a smart thing, but it's also, now you're dependent on what Unreal gives you.
Yeah, and I don't know, personally, as a fan, I was really enamored with the idea that Bungie created this platform that was so awesome, so far ahead of its time for first-person shooting. And then it just kind of got, I don't know, there were some rough Halo games. Man, Jay and I played there are some rough ones. The artwork, the style, the feel, everything was just so not Halo. Infinite seems all right. I'm not going to bag on Infinite too bad. It's just a crap release schedule. So that's what happens when you let marketing brand all your boxes and then you miss it by a year. Not to laugh at Xbox, but I laugh at Xbox.
Yeah, but it's true, right? Like that's the thing. You can't depend on a major release like that for your system release anymore. It's not the old days anymore where everyone works together and cohesively.
Yeah. It just feels very siloed, would be the word that I'd use as Microsoft right now. But hey, I feel bad for everybody. Like, this has been a bad year for the games industry. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And I don't know if you saw today, but Alana Pierce is leaving Santa Monica Studios.
Yeah,
So
I saw.
she worked there for 5 years. So good for her. I hope that she's successful in her endeavors. So, but yeah, it's this. Oh, the gaming world is weird right now. That's for sure.
It is. It really is, and it's kind of scary, right? Like the pressures, because people have noticed how much money video games actually bring in. And I think what's really making it harder and harder is that you're not going to see too many independent studios anymore, right? Like they might release one game and then they're going to be bought out by either Microsoft or Sony. That race is just is insane right now, and I think that's hurting the video game industry as a whole.
Yeah, and then look at the fact that this really got to me because I was thinking about it. I saw a podcast or a show talking about this, and I'd never really considered it too much. But 20 years ago, they wanted you to buy a game. They spent all their money on advertising just to get you to buy the disc, put the disc in your computer or your console, play the crap out of it, and then they'd make the game as difficult as possible to get you to stick with it and not be able to finish it in a weekend. So it was discouraging going to Blockbuster Video and renting it. Now, the art of the game is to make you play it for years. And that's the part, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to log into Bungie, I got to log into Destiny to grind my weeklies. I log in every day to Forza Horizon 5 to do my dailies. And then Thursday nights, me and my buddy Mike, we go online and we finish the week in one night. And that's our thing. And I'm just like, yeah, I've never thought about how much I've changed in the way I play a video game, because now it's maybe that's why I don't game as much as I used to.
100%.
Right? Because games aren't fun when they're just dragging out and there's no, like, that's why games like The Last of Us are popular and whatnot, the single player games, because they're more like, here's a contained story, work with these elements, master them, and we'll give you a great cinematic ending. Instead of, okay, let's go on PvP battle. Like, I never really thought about it.
No, that's exactly it. That's Oh no, 100%, right? It's all about like the events, like whatever's going on, the seasons, especially for live games, right? Like it's a totally different beast nowadays, and that's why personally I do love games like Last of Us and things like that. You know, the standalone games, because, well, I can play at my own pace. There's a standalone story. I'll be done the game in about a month, depending on how much I game, and you know, that's it. Cool.
Yep, I agree. It's flipped a switch for me, where I'm like, I got to be more thoughtful about what I purchase and what I game, because like even the Crew Motorfest. All right, I bought it. I bought it on both consoles, to be honest. I was a bad boy. And I bought the deluxe edition on both consoles because I was really, you know me, I was really into the which one plays better, blah, 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 blah. And the thing that I like about the PS5 is the controller. The controller every time is like, oh, this is awesome. And then every time I go back to the Xbox, I'm like, I missed the controller on the PlayStation 5. But anyhow, I did that. I got the year one pass. I've played the game probably 6 times between the two consoles. Not going to lie. I finished the Donut Media thing because James Humphrey was in it and he makes me laugh. Now it's year 2 and they want another $40. I hemmed and hawed, looked at this year 2 pass. And then it was like, why am I going to waste $40 on a pass that makes it Need for Speed? Just so I can explore a new island in Hawaii when I haven't logged more than 20 hours on this. Like, is that smart? No. Stop thinking like that, man. Right? It's like, no, I'll save my hard-earned money. I did buy FC 25 or whatever because Black Friday. It was on for $40.
Yep,
Like,
of
all
course.
right.
It's our time to buy it.
Yep. That's you and I. It's time to get it. So makes me laugh. Just the game industry is funny, and you know, I guess FC25 is a great example of a game that can work both ways. I know so many people play it to play the pay to win aspect and get all these cards and spend hundreds of dollars on digital media, trading media and stuff. Or you just do like probably what you and I do. Log in, pick your team, play your games. Beat the computer, have it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah, me too. I was playing, you know, oh, let's fight. Let's go against Montreal. Okay. But yeah,
that's pretty much what I do. I'm not into the whole card game and all that. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. Like, I see people spending thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know them personally, but just online, right? Like, I just don't know how. I can't justify that.
I think I tried playing that thing once, and they were giving you free packs and stuff, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous, because you even have to sign them to contracts and stuff. So even the digital players you acquire for your team, at least in that version, you didn't really have the rights to do much with them, only for a limited time, you know? And I was just like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. I don't really want to do this. I just want to play, pick my team.
Oh, for sure.
Who we're playing next week, and then just go and play that game. Which, just in the sports world,
it's interesting. I'm just kind of yeah, I know. I saw. I think it was a save face. I think something is coming down, so they kind of went ahead of the game before and let him resign. Let him go before he gets fired and blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah,
but I think we're far from drone gate with that.
It's completely the drone stuff. We know that
100%.
Like the government and everybody's like asking questions now, and the funding and everything like that. So you know that it's an eventuality that he's going to be put in the hot seat, and he's going to get a FIFA suspension. And TFC, there's two things in TFC world. Sorry, I'm going to put on my soccer hat for a second. You know, there's the drone gate, but then there's the fact that we don't have a lame duck CEO. This Kevin Pelly guy, or whatever his name is, he was involved in Europe with a soccer club. I forget which one, but he knows the potential of this sport and this market. And he's not going to sit there and go, oh, let's have the nice guy, John Herdman, who wasn't very nice from what I can tell. You know, if you didn't want to fly the drone, he blackballed you. So, he, you know, I wish him well, and I think that he achieved some interesting results this year, and we definitely did better than Mr. Bradley did. But I think Bill Manning leaving and having, you know, Herdman kind of resign, I think it just speaks to the fact that we needed to clear house. And I wouldn't be surprised if we lose some Italian talent that's not being very talented in the MLS, but is eating up a lot of money. So I would say Insigne's not long for this.
It doesn't make sense. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, 100%. You can't not justify having the third highest payroll in the league and not bringing in the results.
And you can't, you know, I kind of laugh because I watched on the weekend, like LA Galaxy are in the final again. So we're seeing our old coach, and what a lot of people don't realize, because I see it on social media where people are like, well, you know, I heard that Vanny wanted full control over the organization, and that's why they didn't renew his contract. And I'm like, no, it's even worse than that. They didn't even offer him anything. They let his contract expire, and Manning never picked up the phone for any of them.
Yep.
I know for a fact that pissed them off, that they weren't even talked to like human beings. And that's on Manning. Again, Ali Curtis, Manning. It's just the guy doesn't have a clue about football. But hey, the Argos won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. The Argos won. Good for them. Oh man, but yeah, MLS Cup happening this week. The LA Galaxy, New York Red Bulls, yada yada yada. So dumb. This playoff, everything about the MLS right now just pisses me off.
Yeah, if they go to this winter schedule like they're talking about, I'm done. I'm out. 100%.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah,
they're done.
I'm not.
How can you
this.
just like you can't?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. And when I say I'm done,
No.
I'm not even watching on TV. Like screw MLS
Same.
Backstage Pass or whatever. I'm not watching it. If you're going to take the league off of the TV, you're going to hide it behind a $150 paywall. And then you do this to your season's ticket holders where you're like, oh, come on. Late February is kind of nice in Toronto. My ass. No, it's not. It's not fun to just stand there and drink a cold beer in the freezing cold. Remember when the biggest problem was that BMO Field didn't have heated water in the cold months? Remember the pipe?
Their pipes? Yeah, their pipes. Yeah, the pipe issues.
Yeah. I know it's all taken care of under the renovation, but it's still, man.
Still.
I can only imagine. I remember seeing front office staff sweating whenever we had a cold game because they were like, what issue are we going to have tonight? Like something's going to go wrong. So
exactly
the things we've seen, my friend.
To say the least, man, honestly, to say the fucking least, it is crazy. But yeah, man, what a world that we live in. So like I was just doing some scrolling as we were talking. Something that I'm noticing, and this is interesting, is how many sales there are on physical media right now.
Yeah. Like how so? Like
that means one of two things.
Movies?
No, like movies, especially.
Okay.
You go on Amazon right now, like all these collections and stuff. Well, one of two things is kind of what I always fear when I see this. Is number one is it's gonna go away, like that version, the whole Disney thing where they used to put movies, quote unquote, in the vault. The other thing is that a new version of said movie is gonna come out.
Oh, that's valid too. I think there's a third option here. I think because Walmart and Target, I believe, in the States, Best Buy, all dumped physical media. They only get in certain items and they warehouse them now. They're very rare will you find them in store. They dumped physical media for movies and music. And I think what you're seeing now is a lot of the distributors are fire sailing it all on Amazon because they have stockpiles of certain things. Because remember there used to be a store called HMV in Canada. It's a British thing, Her Majesty's Voice, HMV. They started opening up HMVs in the Toys R Us stores here in Canada. And they opened them where it was the video game section. Now it's the HMV section. And it's filled with the same crappy movies that were all in HMV with double the price.
Right.
It's their warehouse that they're dumping media out of and trying to claim that it's nostalgic now and has more value. So Amazon's going to be the other way. It's going to be the only way we're going to sell this is cheap. But it all depends. Like look 100%. Look up Peter Gabriel Secret World Live DVD Blu-ray. That's going to be like $90 because they don't make it anymore, which is kind of to your point.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, and going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like, for those of you, man, just save some of those. Like, man, I gotta like check the old VHSs because like we have all the old Disney VHSs. I'm pretty sure we can like little fortune in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even Alien Romulus is releasing on VHS. They're doing a limited run on VHS.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So it's a fascinating place. Like if you have, I have a copy of Blade Runner from the late 90s in a Warner Brothers cardboard box. That thing's worth mad money, that DVD. Because nobody bought it. Because they were like, oh, Blade Runner. And then Blade Runner got the Blu-ray treatment and then a director's cut and yada, yada, yada. And that's like everywhere. But some things are really hard to find. And other things are being blown out for like $8 or less with free shipping and everything. Like I'm blown away by it. Blown away. But like I say, that's the time to grab them because you don't know if you're going to see them again. Because once they go away, then you're into like look up The Good Place full season, $90.
Yeah.
You know,
funny because I'm pretty sure that is on sale right now. I swear I saw that as I was scrolling. Heck. Yeah, Good Place. It's on Black Friday discount right now. $37.50. Down, it's about 50% from its 70. This is all American for the record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you Americans. I know he's in Canada, but
well, it's funny because like if you do the conversion, it's the same price, right? Because like last week I was seeing the Star Wars, the Black Series helmets were at $100 American. Do the conversion, they're at $140 Canadian.
Yeah. I have it at $81.79 on Blu-ray. Canadian. It's down from $89.44.
There you go.
Yeah, and the helmets, again, it depends on the helmet. Like behind me.
Yeah, it depends on which.
You know, like that Scout Trooper. The reason why it's hard to find on Amazon is because it was a GameStop exclusive, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I have a GameStop.
I remember seeing that somewhere.
Well. Yeah, I didn't realize it until I watched an unboxing, and I was like, oh. But I luckily scored it off of Amazon. It wasn't cheap. It was closer to $2.
Yeah.
And then some of them are crazy money. My favorite thing to do is actually I get ads on Instagram now where they show you retro Lego. And like I just showed my dad the little Dickens set that I have. It's the book and a little Timmy and everything like that. And I got that thing gift. It was a GWP gift with purchase. So you spent a Christmas like 3 or 4 years ago, you spent $100 or $120. They gave you this set for free. They're selling that set on Amazon now for $110. And I'm just
that's
like,
crazy.
I have quite a stack of sealed boxes, and I've estimated over Amazon's markup price on the older sets because I have some sets that are going back a long time. Certain sets, like the TIE Fighter helmet that I have, is probably around $800 American because it was only sold at Target and on Lego.com. It's one of the hardest ones to get, apparently.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's at the bottom of my pile. But yeah, it's just ridiculous how much.
Crazy.
And that's what they're selling on Amazon for. I know that's not necessarily the price. It's the asking price. You really need to go on eBay and see what people have sold for to really know what it's selling for.
The other interesting thing is, man, look at your old video games. Because, man, now that people are collecting vintage games, which kills me because people consider PS3 vintage, some of these games are like almost at the price you bought them for.
Yeah, because they're out of production, right? You can't even get them online anymore. You can't even buy a digital copy. Once they yank that thing, the physical disc is all you got. So there's certain games that went through, didn't get wide releases, and if you have the physical disc, you could be looking at a little bit of coin. It's pretty
Yeah.
incredible, and it makes sense.
It
Somewhere in my
really
basement,
is.
I've got the original World of Warcraft box with the floppy disks inside. Like, you wouldn't believe
Nice.
how unhealthy my games collection was because I worked at a game store, like a computer store.
I
that
can
sold
imagine.
games. And I had first day access to everything, and my manager was like, "I'll give it to you for cost." And we'd look up in the computer, and it was like, "Oh, $20. All right. Got the new TIE Fighter game. All right." So,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's
Yeah, no, I have the original Diablo 2 release. I have a bunch.
yep,
At my place somewhere.
yep. I got
A
Diablo
bunch of
2,
PS3 games.
Diablo 3 Special Edition with a mouse mat, and I've got all the World of Warcraft expansions and special editions. Man.
I think I even have Mass Effect too, like the original release on PC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mass Effect. Got the Mass Effect with the patch.
I know I have
And
the original Xbox Mass Effect boxes somewhere.
yep, so do I. I that's probably my most bought game because they keep on re-releasing it.
I don't know what mine is. I don't know. Actually, it's probably Last of Us because my systems always break when I put that disc in.
That's hilarious. It does make them turn into chug machines. That's for sure.
Speaking of video games, let us go to our topic du jour. Next Thursday, it is the Video Game Awards.
Ugh.
Just want to quickly go through the nominations, but before we do that, Phil, are these awards relevant still? Do you give a shit still? Do these matter to you?
Okay, I'll say this. At one point, it was a fun show to watch. You got a few commercials, you saw a few awards, you saw a band or two play. It's kind of fun. It wasn't a bad way to spend the evening watching that on YouTube or whatever. But lately, it's become who's the host of it? Jeff Keighley? Is that his name? But whoever the host is, he seems like a nice enough guy. He's always been involved in it, but he's getting such huge kickbacks, which, more power to him, I guess, if these companies are willing to spend the money. But even to be nominated, those nominations have to be bought. And this year, the outrage is real. And I think that the whole show has invalidated itself, because how can you have a DLC be up for Game of the Year for a game that's already won Game of the Year? I just don't get what's going on with Elden Ring. If that's
Did they not add Cyberpunk last year?
Yeah, and then to pass over Cyberpunk, saying that the DLC doesn't make it eligible for Game of the Year, and then to capitulate on that this year, there's no integrity anymore. It is literally going to be 2 or 3 hours of paid advertisements. That's it. I don't know that I get any.
But you knew that's what it was becoming, right? Like with the trailers and everything. Like you slowly saw it turning into that.
Yeah, it did happen in front of us, and we're gonna probably get something really awesome like Linkin Park playing "Heavy as the Crown." Like there's gonna be something that kicks off and just makes video games feel fun again, and then you're just gonna be hit with ad after ad after ad. And then hopefully they announce Forza Horizon 6. But that everybody's going to be looking next year.
What do you think? Do you think we're going to see anything special?
I think at most we'll get a good trailer for GTA 6, which is going to win Game of the Year next year.
I think we will. And
if it releases in 2025,
guaranteed.
There's no contest. It's just done. It's just done. But I don't really know anything about the nominations. I just heard that one.
All right, let's
and I'm like,
quickly go through the nominations.
All right.
Yeah. I think we're fucking being the internet here right now. All right, so I'm gonna skip best esports team and best esports athlete. Don't really give a shit about that. Let's talk about the video games. Best esports game, Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant.
Wow. That hasn't changed for 5 years. That list. Do you want me to pick one that I think is going to win? Like, that's a bag of shit.
Oh, I know it. I know.
Like
It
Counter-Strike.
really is.
I
It really
used to.
fucking is.
Oh, that's just embarrassing. I'm sorry. That's a shameful list.
What?
It just shows how little that industry has tried to
I know.
change. And good, if it's your type of game, I'm not taking
It
away
hasn't
your
at
joy.
all, and that's the funniest part.
Yeah, I'm not trying to gatekeep it. I'm just saying it's not a genre that I'm really into, and it just doesn't really seem like it changes much. Like
Exactly.
that, but maybe that's what the players want. And if it's what the players want, I know it's all about the online challenge and the PvP. Good on you. It's as you get older, you start to lose those skills.
Yeah, you don't give a shit too much about that. I'm gonna skip content creator of the year. This is a stupid category. I don't understand this category. What gets to me about this next category is that it's a bot category. You know that it's gonna lead to a trailer for the winner, and that's the most anticipated game. You get Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yode, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Well, I know exactly where GTA 6 trailer will go.
Right?
Yeah, that's not even sporting.
Like, how do you judge? Like this, I just don't understand.
How do you judge a game that's not even out?
Category.
Most
Exactly.
awesome toenail fungus for next year. I just don't get it.
All right. Best.
Sorry, we're old men here.
Call of Duty Black Ops. Yeah, no. Best multiplayer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines 2.
I hope it's Space Marines. I'd really like Space Marine to win that. Because that's been, or like Helldivers 2, but the backlash was real on that. Like people really turned on that game. Sony screwed up, right? By marrying it with that PlayStation thing.
They did.
They killed the golden goose there. They had a live service game and they crapped it out because they were obtuse. So I don't think that that's going to really stand a chance. Space Marine, I just hope it wins because it's one of those games that I love that it pisses off so many people in the industry because it's just a solid B class game that makes no bones about what it does. Have you played it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's actually good. I don't even touch the multiplayer. I've heard good things about the multiplayer from my crew in Ireland, but I play the campaign, and man, it is just a fantastic game. It's unbelievably overwhelming and fast, and there's so much happening on the screen. It is unreal. Great game.
Yep.
And I've played Call of Duty 6.
There you go. Look at that. We're not just.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
I haven't played that yet.
I deleted it.
Best sports / racing game. Got F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24.
That is a very uninspiring list. I really don't want 2K games to get anywhere near an award because they have destroyed that NBA title with all of their stupid marketing
Dude,
moves.
you have 3 2K games and 2 EA games. So
Yeah, I'm just wow. Just wow. Just wow. I would have maybe put WRC in there. Is it WRC one of them? It would be EA. No, it's too bad. I would have put that in there.
No,
because that's a solid game. That's a solid game. Codemasters, RIP, Codemasters, but they just got bought out by EA and started developing World Rally under them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pick that, but maybe for me personally, I'd pick FC25 because I like footy. So I don't want 2K to get anything.
All right,
Ugh.
Best sim strategy game: Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami, Man Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
Oof. Got nothing on that. I can't believe you could pronounce it.
Right.
What was the first one? Age of Mythology.
Age of Mythology. Yeah,
I heard good things about that, so I'll pick that.
Same. That's the only one I've really heard anything about, to be honest.
Yeah, on that list, yeah.
Here's an interesting one that I think, I'll be very interested to kind of see where this goes. Best family game. You got Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire.
I hope it's Astrobot. I've seen a lot of great reviews about Astrobot, like shocking shockingly good reviews, saying that it's as good as Mario in many ways. Like it's just got that je ne sais quoi. And I do respect that it came from like Sony's weird ass thing, but it's kind of like Little Big Planet meets the PlayStation 5, and it really shows off a lot of the features. It was a fun little thing that was just included with the PlayStation 5, and then they turned it into a platformer, and I gotta say, hats off. You guys got it right again.
It was the smartest thing that they did, was releasing that on, day zero.
Yeah, and like, look at how bad they're screwing up Forza, the Horizon series right now. I heard the Lego game is just in the toilet for sales. It's not like it's a bad game. It's they can't move a copy of it. Nobody wants to play that game. And then they're re-releasing the game again in the PlayStation 5 remake, which, to their credit, it's only a $10 upgrade or something like that. But I think people are just sick of it. And then Tencent made a ripoff of it, and that's coming to market.
Yeah.
But hey.
Best fighting game. You got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8.
Oh, my heart would be with Tekken 8, but I think one of those Street Fighter games is probably going to beat it because they've got them.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, I can see it.
Yeah.
Nostalgia's going to win on this one, I think. Got the best.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say my nostalgia is Tekken, so I cut my teeth on Tekken too.
Best RPG: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Refantasio.
I heard great things about Metaphor, but I think this is one where Elden Ring is going to sweep that out. I think it's a pretty hot category.
Should be Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy was no slouch. Yeah.
Best action adventure game: Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh,
right?
What the hell? That's a stinky category. I wanted to like Outlaws so bad. I wanted to. It just can't hold me. I don't know. I think the Zelda game, it just seems to be easy money. Zelda's got to win something.
Yeah. But I'm hearing great things. I'm hearing great things of Silent Hill 2, so we'll see.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, they put in a lot of work on that. Yeah.
Best action game: Black Myth: Wukong, Call of Duty: Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000: Space Marines 2.
Oh, I'd hope it's Warhammer Stellar Blade, but I don't think so. Black Ops is probably going to get it.
Best VR AR game: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman: Arkham Shadow, Metal: Hellsinger, and Metro Awakening.
Batman. I've heard nothing but good things. People are buying MetaQuest because of it. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm going to go drop $500. Play a Batman.
I still can't get into it. All right. Best mobile game: AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Withering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero.
Balatro. Easy. I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about it.
Go ahead.
I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about Balatro.
Same. Yep. Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
If Balatro doesn't win the last category, it'll win this one. It might even win it both, right? Yeah. I think the hype around this thing is pretty high.
It's real. And then there's best independent game, which is weird that they kind of split up best new indie game and best indie game and whatever. Then there's best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50.
I've only heard of Balatro, but it won't get 3 in a row.
No.
It'll get one or the other. Yeah, one or the other, and then just randomly throw a dart, and then we'll get whoever doesn't get that other category.
I don't even know what this category even means. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 60, what the fuck is it? 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky should win it, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 will, because they just dropped an awesome new patch, or they're working on one to give everybody crops.
And then, but Fortnite's Fortnite, right?
Fortnite's Fortnite.
Fortnite's Fortnite.
Like, you got to remember with No Man's Sky, the reason why it's a sentimental pick for No Man's Sky is because that game was crap, and it was crap for people got mad at that game before it was
exactly
socially allowable to be mad at people. And it was like a small team that developed it. They took it away and they've made it into this behemoth. It's possibly the best open world game that you can play today. Without, like, that's not, throwing smoke. It's that good. So it should win.
Yeah,
I don't know 100%. If it will.
Best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
Probably Fortnite wins this. I just think the audience.
We got Games for Impact. Yeah, exactly. Got Games for Impact. No idea what that means. Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Sensua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tales of Kenzira, and Closer the Distance.
In the couch. I don't know. I really can't pick out of those. Maybe Hellblade 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought I played
Here's a
video
good one. I
games.
like this
don't.
category.
Okay.
Right? Innovation and accessibility. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, you know what? One of those will. It's a great category. You're right. It might even be Outlaws that gets this, but it's. I
I think
congratulate.
Outlaws is going to win this one.
Yeah, I congratulate the games industry on making games more accessible. And it's great that there's 5 contestants here, and there's probably a lot more. But this was something 2 or 3 years ago that was really not a thing. You had, subtitles on or off. Now I get the ability.
About a lot, but
now I get the ability to change the subtitles, change the background that they're on, increase the contrast, everything. Like, and I'm like, for a guy with vision that's being wonky sometimes, it's great. And friends who are colorblind, to have the variety of options that a lot of these games give, and then even disabled players, and just some of the stuff that Xbox has done to get controllers that can be adapted for disabled gamers and whatnot. Fantastic stuff.
Yep. You got Best Performance, Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth. Hannah Tell, Life is Strange, Double Exposure. Humberly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws. Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2. And Melina Jurgens, Swena's Saga Hellblade 2.
I think maybe the Final Fantasy remake.
That or Silent Hill 2, I think.
Or Silent Hill 2. Yeah, you're right. Heard so much good stuff about that too.
Here's a good one. Yeah. Best Audio Design, Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. I think this one has to go to Silent Hill. With just that old school creepiness, sounds, and blah, 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 right?
Yeah, I agree. It is probably the one really great thing about Call of Duty that I can say. Is they usually get sounds pretty good, and I gamed in headphones on that one, and I was just like, woo, woo. You feel it.
Yep. Best Score and Music, Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Refantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade.
Having really only played Stellar Blade out of that list, I'll pick it, but your pick is probably more educated. Probably Silent.
I would say Final Fantasy or Astrobot.
Yeah, I haven't heard the music in Astrobot, so I can't really claim to.
All right. Best Art Direction, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadows of the Erd Tree, Metaphor, Refantazio, and Neva.
The Chinese game.
Yeah,
Wukong,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Wukong, yeah. Best
Wukong,
Narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Refantazio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
And what's the title of this category again?
Best Narrative.
Final Fantasy.
That's what I think.
Yeah. That or Metaphor. Is Metaphor in this? Yeah. Metaphor, I've heard a lot of good things about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. If Metaphor might have the outside chance on that, because I've heard a lot of great stuff about it, but you got to be into that, that genre.
Yep. Best Game Direction, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor.
Whoever doesn't win the last category maybe wins this one because it sounds like the
Right,
same
yeah.
game.
Exactly. Basically the same. Here's a category that I love, and it's going to be a really interesting to see who wins. And I'm interested to hear who you think is going to win. And that's best adaptation. You have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft.
I heard that's stinky. That's easily Arcane. Arcane, just
Arcane
second season
or Fallout.
just-
But I think Arcane
Oh yeah,
hands
Fallout.
down
You're
takes
right.
it.
I think Arcane takes it because of the variety of people that watched it. Because everybody I know watches Arcane. But Fallout was damn good. Damn good. You're right. Fallout should win it, but I think it's going to be Arcane due to popularity.
Yeah. And then the category that's bringing a lot of heat and attention, the main category of the night, the game of the year. You got Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor.
Well, I know Elden Ring's going to win it. I just can't believe how many categories.
It's bullshit that we know that they will.
Expansion.
The fact that they changed the rules.
Yeah, the fact that game is like in every category. And Elden Ring is nominated for Whiff of a Fart. Like, oh, it's in everything. It's already won Game of the Year. Stop.
Right?
It's an add-on. That
so
costs as
dumb.
much as a game.
It's so dumb. I just can't. I just can't with this.
No. I can't believe how much I heard Elden Ring. Have you played Elden Ring?
Originally, but not this expansion. Yeah.
Yeah. I played the original. I couldn't get out of the tutorial. Like, what the hell, man? I have every Dark Souls game on disc. I can't get out of the tutorial.
That's so funny.
It's like, oh, look. Oh, I should buy the year 2 pass for Motorfest now. Whoosh.
Yeah.
I picked
that's
up the
the
Elden Ring
game.
disc for cheap, but fuck.
Yeah, I did too. It was like really cheap, like $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right after it came out. So that is the Game Awards 2024. We'll talk about it in a couple weeks with the winners, and we'll probably rant a little bit. Probably an old man rant that you're going to be getting at that point.
If you haven't had enough of an old man rant as it goes so far this episode.
Oh, we can get more.
Oh, man. Well, the two old men here, me older than him, would like to tell you can visit our website at www.aplusproductions.com. You can find us on all the social feeds, even Blue Sky if you want to find us. It is Canon Podcast. Well, we're not there yet on Blue Sky, but Boris and I are.
Yeah, we are.
You can email us at show@itscanonpodcast.com. And anywhere where you find, podcasts, you're going to find us. You've already found us. Tell your friends. Leave a rate and review. Let everybody know. The It's Canon Podcast is a fun one to listen to if you want to hear two old guys moan about how old they are. And just remember, everybody, do not to shit to the bed.
And give a realistic view on pop culture. Exactly.
Yeah, it's realistic.
That's what that's what I do enjoy. What we do is we give a realistic view. Exactly.
Yeah. We
All
call
right.
it like we see it.
It is time for us to go. It is time for us to watch some Star Wars. So exactly. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go watch some TV. We're gonna catch up on things, and we're gonna be back next Monday here on the It's Canon Podcast. On behalf of Phil and myself, take care. Good night and goodbye.